So this is standard Raypak RP2100 pull spa heater, and a couple things I did here was, I added a little rain shield for the on and off switch with some silicone, and just a cabinet handle, really, just stuck it on there and just sort of gooped up a lot of stuff just to keep the water out. But I noticed a couple of years ago that there was water coming out of this corner here. I was like, oh man, for sure I've got a leak in my heat exchanger. Man, it's $3,600 or something. Was not looking forward to that replacement, so I ordered one, and guy was all ready to bring it over and stuff, and I turned on the the motor. I walked around it for days trying to figure out where the leak was, and just water coming out of this corner here, and just couldn't isolate it. And so it's got to be the heat exchanger. So I started taking the whole thing apart because I had to move it, put a new one in, and I came over and I noticed that water was coming out of this lower edge here. I was like, what? I didn't notice that before. So I saw water coming out, and it turns out that this manifold here was leaking, and you can see how this sort of heat shield material was getting rotten out, and this little plug had it just had shrunk, or the hole had gotten bigger or something. And this is just by the grace of God. Water just pouring out of here, and this thing was just like loose, and I was trying to screw it in, it just wouldn't tighten up. So I shut everything down, of course, and then I was looking in here, nothing was cracked, and the nut, little thing, it's a little plug really, and that wasn't cracked, and there were zero imperfections. So I just went in and just digging through my stuff, and I just happened to have a plug like this in my bin with assorted nuts and bolts, and I came back here, and it was just incrementally big enough so that it fit in there. The threads matched up and everything. For the life of me, I haven't figured this out, but anyway, this drain hole or whatever this is here was leaking, and this is just some pipe joint compound. I put it in there and snugged it up real good, and it's been, gosh, a couple of years, and it hasn't leaked at all. Pretty amazing. But the way this turns out is this manifold is the way that you can use to set up the plumbing for this heater. So if the pump and all that other stuff was on this side, then you would have this whole configuration to be over on that other side, and you would just unscrew that. So you could probably buy a manifold if you don't have the luck that I do, and just have a nut that would fit in there if this thing starts to leak. But if you get water coming out of the bottom of these things, you're checking around real good to come over here to this side. It could be the other side for you, but check this manifold out and see if that ain't the issue.